And welcome to this week's Illinois Wesleyan Basketball Coaches Show. I'm Eric Stock, joined by men's coach Ron Rose. Coach, good to have you back.
Great to be here, Eric.
So after the loss to Carthage, you guys bounced back strong with a couple of road wins against first Wheaton and then North Central.
You know, any win in the CCAW is good, but road wins are really tough to come by. Certainly we were disappointed in our performance and the outcome of the home opener against Carthage. And then as you're staring going to Wheaton and to North Central, you know, you worry about really digging yourself a hole. I was really proud of our guys. I think we learned a lot from that Carthage game. You know, I can't totally explain it. You know, it was the first true CCIW contest for 7 out of the 11 guys in our rotation. And quite honestly, it looked like we had deer in the headlights look a little bit. I mean, we just were didn't play with the same energy level that we had been playing. But I think we regrouped at Wheaton and North Central and really competed hard.
So maybe that was a bit of a jolt for the team, since the games up to that point had been, I don't want to say easy, but they were never really much in doubt, and this was a much different situation against a more seasoned, more physical team than the ones that you've been facing.
Well, yeah, I think we had most games in the first 5 we had a 10-point lead or more most of the games, and so you get into the Carthage game, which is back and forth a little bit, hard fought. The CCIW games typically more physical than your non-conference games, and you know, we didn't react great to it that night against Carthage. But I don't know if I've had a team that has improved or been able to go a 180 as much in such a short time from Saturday to Wednesday, and how hard we competed with the purpose in which we played as we did at Wheaton.
Well, and then you saw the same thing against North Central. In the first half, defensively, might have been one of the best halves of defense that we've seen in quite some time. And of course, you're thinking, well, gee, why not just play it like that every 40 minutes every night? But what do you think was the difference there in making that adjustment from the week before?
Well, it was clearly our best half this year. I thought that first half against North Central, we were just more active and aggressive. For whatever reason, we haven't been aggressive enough on the defensive end, whether it's ball pressure, willingness to get off our man and help and recover. And so I think that was a growth thing. The film for Carthage was really revealing, I think, to our guys in terms of having not just to play harder, but playing with a defensive purpose. And I thought we did that much better at Wheaton, and then took another stride that first half at North Central. You know, the defense was away from us, away from the bench the second half, at which point you always rely on those 5 guys on the floor have to talk. And I don't think our energy level or our execution on the defensive end was as spot on the second half at North Central, which created giving up way too much. I think we gave up 43 that half. And so we need to get better at that. We need to be able to play a game of 40 minutes, not 20, but it certainly is moving in that direction.
Both games came down to last-second shots. Wednesday nights looked scripted and went according to plan, and I guess Saturday, just by the nature of it, coming off a missed free throw, it was just someone's got to make a play, and that's what Colin Bennett did.
Yeah, you know, we had a timeout before the Wheaton, and we set up a little movement to create some space. We set up for Brady to drive the basketball, and if he was cut off, find a shooter. He made a nice pass to Jalen Beasley, who made a big-time shot for us. You know, it was great. Jalen, about a minute and a half earlier, hit another 3 for us. So it was terrific to see Jalen step up in those key situations, a senior for you. And then against North Central, it was coming off a free throw. To be honest, I rolled the dice a little bit and subbed before the last free throw, where we had a smaller lineup in, and counting on that we would be able to get that rebound. Fortunately, we did. And at that point, we had you know, 4 guards and Jalen Beasley on the floor, and we just tried to spread it out. And we didn't want to call timeout. We kind of wanted to go against an unset defense, and Colin made a terrific drive to the basket and finish for us.
And so it worked perfectly well. So now you have some time off as the student athletes take their finals before you come back on Sunday, and not really a break, even though you step away from conference play with your next 3 games against UAA teams in WashU, Chicago, and Emory.
Really a challenging stretch. You know, you go from, you know, 3 conference games, challenging conference games, to 3 non-conference opponents that are all, you know, 2 of the 3 are nationally ranked. And so, the hope was when you schedule these that it prepares you for conference play. It continues to get you ready for that second half of the season. We call it the Brainiac section of our conference when you're talking some really elite academic schools that we're heading into. And I think, our guys, again, you want to play quality opponents because I think playing hard is a habit. And I think our guys need to create that habit that we're going to be challenged and have to play hard every night out.
Do you have to scale it back to some degree? I mean, you do to some extent with the students taking their finals this week.
Yeah, we're giving our guys off some time here, and I think that's important that they have, enough time to really focus in on their academics and take care of their final exams. So we're taking a few days off here this week. Our game with WashU is actually not until Sunday because they have final exams that end on Saturday. So that does give us an extra day to prepare that we normally wouldn't have. Practice is tough during final exams when you do it because they're sleep deprived, they're locked into their finals. So it's nice to be able to give them a little time to focus on their academics and also physically. We've had a stretch here where guys, 3 tough conference games in a row. I think it'll be nice to give them a little bit of a break physically as well.
And stepping back for a minute about the season as a whole, is there anything that stands out to you as a pleasant surprise from what you've seen so far?
Well, we saw with this group early on that they like the process. They like to work. They have a great attitude. They're coachable. So from that standpoint, I was surprised at Carthage. I think we all were. But I had high expectations for this group. I really thought we would come in and we'd play hard and we had a chance to be a good basketball team. And I think we're heading in that direction. We've got to continue to get better. There's some areas of the game that we have to improve on. We're fortunate we've made 2 last-second shots to win games. Those can be reversed pretty quickly. I think both games we had leads in that second half that I'd like to be able to execute a little bit better offensively, be able to get that big stop defensively a little bit better so that maybe it doesn't come down to a last-second shot.
Sure. Well, 7-1 so far with WashU coming to Shirk Center on Sunday. We appreciate the time and best of luck this week, Coach.
Thanks, Eric.